The failing state that is the United States of America marches on with Robert F. Kennedy as the Health and Human Services Secretary, a conspiracy theorist, a vile abuser of women. Not that it's a moral affliction, but he is a drug addict who has abused himself for years and years and years, along with everyone else around him. And now he's in charge of the health of America, to make America healthy again. The man who shovels Zins into his pie hole like they're chiclets and he has bad breath. It's all depressing when you really get down to it. And yesterday, he gave this conspiracy-riddled, lie-fueled talk at Health and Human Services, where he besmirched, he maligned, he spread filthy falsehoods about people who are on the autism spectrum, really painting them as though they are in a vegetative state, unable to help themselves, completely ignoring the fact that people on the autism spectrum are just like everybody else, who deal with challenges just like everybody else, who hold down jobs, who have lives, who have wives and husbands and families, who participate and have hobby. It's just a remarkable thing, the thing that he said. We're going to play it here, but I really want to impress upon you, you very likely know someone who's on the spectrum. And that person you know isn't special, but they're completely different than the millions of other people who have autism or are on the spectrum. That's just the way it is. So this is someone in a position of authority whose sole goal right now is to try to tie autism to vaccines, something that has been discredited for decades. People have lost their medical licenses for fraudulently putting forward research that was totally fake to prove a point. Anyway, here's this clip. Watch this. And no, he's not talking about Donald Trump. He's talking about people, Americans, human beings on the autism spectrum.
This is an individual tragedy as well. Autism destroys families. More importantly, it destroys our greatest resource, which are our children. These are children who should not be suffering like this. These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure into autism when they're 2 years old. And these are kids who will never pay taxes, they'll never hold a job, they'll never play baseball, they'll never write a poem, they'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize we are doing this to our children, and we need to put an end to it.
Now, the reason I went into that clip saying, no, he's not talking about Donald Trump is because he very well could be referring to Donald Trump. Never pay his taxes. Bingo, Donald Trump. Never hold down a job. What job has Donald Trump ever really held down? Never play baseball. Well, he did play baseball in high school, I think. That was a long time ago. We've seen him hold a bat and act like a baseball playing tough guy in his cosplay in the Oval Office. Never write a poem. That is certainly Donald Trump. And never go on a date. Never use a toilet unassisted. That could be Donald Trump. But all of these things are just abject lies about people on the autism spectrum. There's a whole show on Netflix, I believe, Robert Kennedy Jr., called Love on the Spectrum. There's a whole TV show about people with autism who find love and connect with one another through dating and romantic interaction. Never write a poem, never play baseball. All of these things are things people on the autism spectrum do. So what's the goal? What's the motive? What's the end game here for these lies? Because it's either that he just has no idea that there's so many people do find themselves on the autism spectrum, that their family members, people like me, people like you, we know them, we love them, we care for them. We know what their limitations are and what they're capable of, and none of this fits the bill. He's painting all people with autism as individuals who can't go to the bathroom unassisted, or certainly a large enough proportion to have it be among his list of things to malign them with. This is a man who has been charged to make America healthy again. Autism, all these people, it's a shame that they, environmental. And no, stop. If you're gonna, you're making fun of his disability. It's not a disability. He doesn't have a disability. Not a diagnosable disability. He's just a dipshit who's abused himself his entire life. And that's fair game as far as I'm concerned. Even in his renegotiation of his alimony, he filed in court that he was unable, that the brain worm diminished his capacity for income earning, and he wanted to not pay his ex-wife as much money anymore. He filed it. That's not me. And I don't know if the brain worm has something to do with the void. I don't know. But you're not going to see me tripping over myself to be kind to these fascists, to be kind to these conspiracy theorists who are now encouraging people not to get their kids vaccinated while children die of the measles. While hundreds and hundreds of people have the measles, which was considered eradicated from existence back in like the year 2000. So if you're tripping all over yourself to get me to trip all over myself to be kind to Robert Kennedy Jr., you're tripping all over yourself around the wrong tree. I'm really muddling my metaphors here. Anyway, what do you think? Do you know somebody? Are you on the spectrum? Tell me more about what your experiences are. You can do it in the comments. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. I'd love to see you there. And if I do something for you that brings you value, if you appreciate what I do, please consider supporting and helping me produce these videos on a daily basis. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $1.99 a month, or you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. All those are great ways to help support this work. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.